The Way Home Season 3 Episode 8 gave us a sneak peek at how emotionally charged the Hallmark Channel series will be. We didn't anticipate witnessing a spectacular fire of some kind all the way back in time. In the midst of all the chaos, Kat also happened to run into Colton, as if things weren't already difficult enough. In addition to being from the 19th century, he went so far as to assign responsibility for, well, everything. Then, when he went back to the 1970s, Alice saw him at the pond right away. She is obviously aware of his true identity and abilities, but is he also beginning to learn about her? In 1814, Jacob and Colton did really meet. Susanna's skit has already hinted at it, but The Way Home Season 3 Episode 8 demonstrates that it's only the beginning. The list of time travelers pertaining to the Landry family continues to expand. Kat and Alice went first and Elliot soon followed. We discover that Colton had the same skills in the 1974 timeline. How? We're still unsure. Although others believe this points to yet another lost character, the binge-worthy TV series is unlikely to provide us with any conclusive answers for some time to come. However, The Way Home must first address another query. Why is Colton time-traveling? Fortunately, Season 3, Episode 8 gives us the beginning of an astounding response. Spoilers ahead, be warned. Thanks to Susanna's sketch, we already knew Jacob had visited Colton, but now we can witness it ourselves. After Elijah and Jacob introduce themselves, a drenched Colton shows up to the Landry residence, dazed and bewildered. Elijah discovers it's 1814 after Susanna gives him a copy of the almanac, but he plays off the fact that he has no idea what's happening. In addition, Colton's statement that the time I spent here is equal to the time I'm gone illustrates what truly transpired while Susanna was sketching. From where does this originate? My grandmother used to say that. We're aware that you know more than your revealing fern. Jacob is asked to plant as much rye and potatoes as they can this year and the following year. Keep in mind that the year without summer isn't too far off, after Colton assures him that they have created something that will last for generations. Kat goes all the way back to 1816, when Thomas said that he secretly hoped this would occur. She claims she has a lot of things she needs to work out in her head and is annoyed by the kiss. Elliot realizes something is wrong as soon as she returns. Later, Kat informs Elliot about the kiss with Thomas when he gets him alone. Kat claims she doesn't want to fight when Elliot accuses her of attempting to even the score. There's a problem here, and I'm not sure how to address it. Kat remarks we shouldn't have to put in so much effort to make things work. The two are essentially split off when Elliot responds, maybe we have our answer then. Alice's heart breaks every time she receives a text from Noah. She doesn't think it's fair to stay with Noah when she believes that all the evidence points to Casey being her child with Max Goodwin. Alice dismisses him when he shows up at the house carrying a bunch of flowers. When Noah inquires about her health, Alice responds that she doesn't see this working out. I truly don't want to cause you any harm. Well, it's a bit late for that. Noah responds, thrusting the flowers into her arms before heading out. Alice declares she's ready to commit and not be afraid of the future, as she makes her way to the van to meet Noah later. She locates Max instead, who informs her that Noah has gone out of town to clear his head. Colton is devastated by Dell's departure in 1974. In an attempt to lift his spirits, Evelyn tells Alice that she believes this is the moment for her to spend the rest of her life with Colton. Alice tries to decipher the lyrics of a song that Colton writes for Dell. After the two of them finish it together, Jason wants to cut a demo of it. The recording we initially heard in Episode 1 can be explained in this way. In addition to the demo, Colton has another song planned. Alice seems to be aware of this, recalling the time spent with adult Colton and Dell prior to his passing. As Evelyn walks inside the business, she hears Colton mention that he was going to pop the question to Dell before she departed Port Haven. Evelyn claims she is destined to succumb to a love she cannot have when Alice later finds her floating face down in the pond. Given her knowledge of the future, Alice tells Evelyn that Dell is the one for whom her heart is designed, calling her poetry sad, and thus causing enough harm for Evelyn to cry. Returning to 1816, Kat runs into Thomas' embrace. The year without sun is beginning to set in, even if it has only been 2 days in the present and 3 months in the past. People are upset that Cyrus is being betrayed. Jacob claims it's his turn to make things right after Dell, Elliot, and he all feel terrible. He jumps into the pond to retrieve Kat. She discovers Susanna first, admitting that she entered the house via the hidden tunnels. Susanna claims that Kat only succeeded because Cyrus let her, and Cyrus admits that he is aware of Susanna's picture of Kat. Cyrus claims he can see the love she cannot muster for Jacob in Susanna's eyes and accuses her of helping him flee. The villagers declare the deal is off as they burst through Cyrus' gates outside. Elijah is now in danger since he has vowed to safeguard Susanna's chosen family. Cyrus tries to regain control by accusing the Landrys of being the only family with crops that have survived the summer. Thomas observes from a distance while Kat is publicly accused of being a witch. Before taking the town to his door, Cyrus exclaims, Elijah Landry has made a deal with the devil for his soil. Thomas, Suzanne, and Kat reach Elijah first, while Jacob shows up simultaneously to pick up Kat. Rocks are thrown through their window, but Elijah won't leave. When Kat tells the community what will happen in the future, it is met with disapproval. The Landry house is soon the scene of a full-scale firefight, with Cyrus only ceasing when he discovers Susanna is inside. Jacob and Cyrus are inside as the roof collapses, but the others manage to escape the flames. With the figure dragging Jacob around and sparing his life, Kat declines to save Cyrus, knowing he survives. Teen Colton, who appears to have made a comeback, is the figure. He yells, I'm to blame for everything, and then runs off. Another thread has been followed through episode 8 of season 3 of The Way Home. Duff finds it difficult to believe Colton was aware that Jacob wasn't truly dead the entire time, persuading the teenager that Fern was making up stories in 1974. She sits down with a modern-day version of him and asks him why he didn't believe in her all those years ago. Regarding Kat and Alice, Del states, they will find the answers I need, the answers you can't give me. Additionally, we witness Nick debating whether to go back to Port Haven and restore Alice's core charm from season 1. We watch Colton sprinting through the trees and plunging feet first into the pond as Cyrus delivers his stirring address to the villagers over Elijah. Alice discovers him in the previously shown scenario when he comes out. When he inquires as to whether everything was all right at the farm, Alice responds, sure, why?